Hello and welcome. In this lecture, I'd like to introduce you to the Camtasia video editor. Now, in reality, I've spent so much time on these screens that they feel like home to me, and it's difficult to explain home to somebody that's brand new, and I hope I don't skip over any really important basic items as I get excited by the more advanced items. Well, I want to slow things down right now by talking about the basic areas of the screen. First, let's begin with the menus at the top. You have a standard Windows style menu bar here that you can select from. In reality, I use none of these menu items to the right, and I only use those under File. We've already seen several of them. To create a new project, to use new project, to open an existing project, I use that a lot. Saving an existing project, saving a new project, you use Save Project As, and then finally, produce and share. And then we also import media to get it into the clip bin. Okay. That's the only menu item I use is File right there, and I just showed you the 7 menu items that I use off the File menu. I know it was rather quick. Go back and re-watch it if you have to. And now we're going to move on to this kind of sub-menu area. The only thing I use off of it is Record the Screen, which I use all the time to begin the Camtasia recorder. It also has an option here where you can record the screen or record PowerPoint. I don't use the PowerPoint recorder, so I just hit this big button to start my recordings. Now, the clip bin is where all of your media that you're gathering to create this video that's where it's all put together. Here we can see we've got PowerPoint lecture is a Camtasia recording file. It's a TREC file, I believe there is the extension on the file. And this is a recording we just made of something about introducing, I think it was something after organizing your stuff. It was about organizing your stuff. And here I have a couple of videos that I brought in, my production video and my course production video. Okay, now if you're ready to have your mind messed with a little bit, we're looking at the Camtasia video editor, editing the session that I just got done recording and talking with you about. And here I set several call-outs, which we're going to learn about later, that will give you additional explanatory information where it's important to have it happen. Now, what the explanatory information is these big bubbles that pop up and tell you about the various sections. We've talked about the menu here. We've talked about the clip bin. You'll notice it has a little tab down here on the most important areas in Camtasia. Next being, they're supposedly in importance order, although I use library less than I do callouts, zoom in, pan, audio, and cursor. These I use a great deal. Under more is transitions. All of these things I never use. Okay, so I'm telling you, this is my 10th course that I've recorded on Udemy. I've never used all of those things under there. Keep it simple, keep it to the really important things, and then play in your spare time and figure out what's under more. So for right now, what we're going to talk about is the area where you can actually see what's happening on the screen. That's this right here where I'm moving around my cursor. Now, there's 2 ways to see what's happening on the screen. One is to actually pull the playhead along and watch the cursor fly all over the place and see what's happening. Okay, this is a way to get down to a particular point that you might want to start editing the screen. Another is to just hit these play controls that are right down below the screen. Here you've got go back to the very beginning, rewind slowly towards the beginning, play, rewind towards the beginning, or I'm sorry, forward wind towards the end, and jump to the end. The jump to the end will jump from cut to cut where we've got these various effects occurring. So if I want to play, I can double click on this. Generally brings you to the front. We can see the playhead on the timeline, which is the next area that we want to talk about. Down here at the bottom, it shows you where the current playhead is, almost like it's a video recorder. Oh, I'm sorry, I'm showing my age. A videotape recording head on a piece of tape going through the machine. You can control by dragging this playhead across the timeline exactly what's going on the screen. Now this screen is a little complicated because it's a screen of the Camtasia editor, and we're seeing the little callouts pop up to tell you about certain things. You're going to see all of this in just before I get done recording this session. So have we got all the areas? We've got the menu area and this little submenu. I only use the file menu, and under there, it's actually, what is it? It's more like 6 options that I use under file. That's because all the rest of the options are just spread all over the screen. I don't need to go to all of these menu items. One of them is record the screen, which is right here. Another one is actually import media, which I just haven't gotten out of the habit of going to file, import media to replicate. So there's multiple ways to do the same thing. Okay, that's the file or the menus. Next we have the clip bin. Okay, we have the play area and we have the timeline down at the bottom. Now right here, we didn't spend a lot of time talking about these important subcategories. These are the little categories for what pops up in this region here. We have clip bin. Library is really fun. We're going to get into that. Call outs, zoom in, audio, cursor effects, and more. This is where all of the things that don't fit in this little call out button fit down in a little pull down menu. So there we have the various regions of the Camtasia video editor. There's 2 components to the system. There's the video recorder. We've already seen it. It grabs your screencasts and then dumps them into the video editor to be edited. And here we've seen the various areas.